Yo, what up, nerds? So I wanted to go over. I thought this would be a good opportunity for a tutorial to go over like some other drumming patterns. So, on this new video that I'm working on, we're doing a nice little bongo breakdown, a percussive bongo breakdown, and really, okay, let's do that. So the point of this tutorial is to show a way that you can keep a basic kick, snare, hi-hat beat while then really letting the breakdown of the percussion happen, right? So an example of the breakdown will be something like this. My sample's up here, right? So kick, snare, hi-hat, open hi-hat, and then here I got 4 different percussion sounds that kind of match, so I can do rolls. Right, so you see how you can kind of match it up. And so then I have my samples up here. So, as we go along, I'll do a basic version of the pattern, and then I'll show you some introductory rhythms that you can use. Right, so.
This can only be the work of Dr. B.
Right, so you see how that kind of works? Now, here's the basics of it. Essentially what I'm doing is I have my 2 kind of chord, think about like boom, bap, right? Boom, bap, if you're... Right there, boom, bap. And what I'm doing is I'm kind of in the same way that I've shown in past tutorial videos with your ride and your hi-hat. Right? You're going to be using that same method, but now instead you're going to do an alternation from here to here. So, watch. Okay? That is the basic what you're going to need to do with your right hand. Your left hand is what will be handling the more complex natures of the flowing. So here's the basics of how this would work. You kind of do a almost like a bachata, almost, right? You see how easy that is? Now look, you can even then alternate in the other percussion, right? Now that, it takes care of really the entirety of the riff. You can then alternate different hits in between, all right? And now I'm just kind of hitting stuff at random in that way, but trying to maintain some semblance of a rhythm, right? So now if we wanted to add in the kick and the snare, well then similarly to how I teach you in these other tutorials, right, this is kind of the formation we work with. So essentially you're going to be letting your thumb hit on certain notes of the percussion right here, right? And, or fitting in between. So here's an example. All right. Right? And again, I'm just trying to have some fun here to give you guys a basic idea. But what you notice when I'm doing though is I'm really using my thumb to hit these notes, right? So you're really just allowing yourself to hit on the same one. Now, I'm just hitting randomly to show you guys that these kinds of patterns can take place however you want to, right? So. Now, you might have noticed that I'm sneaking in some of the fingers on my pointer finger in here to hit some of these extra notes. That's part of the economy of motion that I've touched on in other videos. It's something I go over often when it comes down to filling in notes and having speed, where maybe sometimes your weird-looking alien arthritis-y fingers might not allow it to if you are trying to really keep up a certain pattern. So it's why you'll see me do a lot of this, is because I'm alternating to fill in certain notes. So I hope this is helpful to you guys. Again, let's go over some basic, now to close out, right? Let's go over some basic rudiments. This is the basic. 1, 2, 1, 2. You're using your thumb on the alternating hi-hat. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you could do the opposite. Start on the hi-hat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. However you want to start, the pattern will obviously then change, but the core of it doesn't, right? You're still just going back and forth and alternating. So 1, and then we're just going to add in a finger. All right? Sorry, I messed up there at the end. But all you're going to start doing is adding in a finger on little alternating notes. Or. And you see the difference there is that I started with the hat, or I started with the, bongo. Right? Then if we want to add in the kick and the snare, don't forget to then bring in your thumb, right? Now, this is important. All of these are on a mute group. So you really can't hit both at the same time. Right? They'll cut each other off. Now, that's important for two reasons. One, it allows for good flams. But it also allows you to really practice being precise. So you'll notice when you're being on or off, because you're either going to be cutting off the sample a certain way. Like if I wanted to do a fill. The reason why that fill sounds that way is because they're not all fulfilling their entire sample before they get cut out. So that's just something important that I like to put out there. So I do have all of these guys on a mute group. All right, that means that I have a total of 3 mute groups on here. My hats are on 1. My samples
This can only
and vocals are on 2. And then these guys are on 3. And that allows me, again, to kind of even bring in the open hi-hat. And kind of get that choked hi-hat, right, if I want to. And then another little fun thing that we can do, one pattern that I'm doing in this video, is because they're on a mute group, I can't do this. Right, you see how these two aren't going to hit? They're going to choke each other off. So what I do is I use the alternating finger here to do this. See? That way it plays out the full wah wah, right? if I tried to do it the other way, now that maybe that can come into a different pattern, right? It's not that it sounds bad, but it's not the pattern I want. The pattern I want is And another big difference, another little fill here for you. Instead of just doing the good old tom roll, what you can always do is what I call the thirds. You take two and you fill them with this one. And all I'm doing is take a different 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, Have fun.